Prepare for an onslaught of ads reminding us of all the things we miss about life before the pandemic: hugs, going to church, family gatherings and hanging with friends, and information about how COVID-19 vaccines can bring them back. The ad campaign from the Ad Council will include more than $500 million in donated media and talent. It launched Thursday and will slowly change as the landscape of who's eligible for vaccine and what questions they have shifts. "We're dealing with the biggest issues of our lifetime," said the Ad Council's president and CEO Lisa Sherman. "We recognized pretty quickly that unless people could learn more about the vaccine and get educated, they may not take them. And then we wouldn't be any better off next year than we are this year." The ads are aimed at the 40% of Americans who haven't yet made up their minds about getting vaccinated, Sherman said. The Ad Council focused on in-depth focus groups and surveys to understand what questions people had and what their worries were. The result is a website, getvaccineanswers.org, that gives a simple message: having questions is good, it's normal to be cautious when something new comes along. Answers are available. The ads, which will appear on TV, radio and online, tug on the heartstrings. They feature images of people holding hands, families at a child's birthday, people walking into church together or friends sharing pizza side by side, a reminder of how much things have changed in a year. The tagline to all is, "It's up to you. Not to get vaccinated, but to get informed," said Sherman. The ads strike a positive and engaging tone, one that's not mandating but inviting them into the process of getting the facts from a trusted source, she said. The Ad Council is a nonprofit that creates and distributes public service announcements. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the Department of Health and Human Services provided scientific guidance. Some of the ads will be seen broadly on television, but they will be especially focused on communities with high levels of vaccine hesitancy, especially Hispanic and Black communities. That will include campaigns that are credible and culturally relevant. The overall message is the same, but it might be presented slightly differently. For the Hispanic population there's more of an emotive angle, said Charisi Nunez, Insights lead for the Ad Council's COVID-19 Vaccine Education Initiative. "We knew there were many people who hadn't had the opportunity to visit their family, and so that's something they miss," she said. For the Black community, images of family reunions, going to church and graduations resonated. But overall the ads can't be too targeted, said Sherman. It's important to be careful and not segment and dissect to a point where it could be ineffective.
Hi, Shalom, Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the Apostle Elder, the Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching His word on true faith and sincerity. And yeah, today, pretty much you can see the clip I played that this devil, so-called white man, is the devil, man. You know, and pretty much Jake is in his scopes, man. You know, that needle is pointing towards you, man. And as you can see, this nigga, he said he putting all this time, money, and resources into getting you Jakes jabbed up, man. You know, it's to the point now where they got commercials geared towards you. Like I said, they got cookouts and graduations, something to play off your emotions, man. And as you can see, the two pretty much people who they really want to capture is the so-called Negroes and so-called Latinos, man. You know, which are the children of Israel. You know, so matter of fact, I'm going to start out with this in the book of 1 Corinthians. So like it's 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, see? For we are not ignorant of his devices." See? So lest Satan should get an advantage of us, you know, pretty much put us back in subjection, you know, because this is how this man always worked, is by the way of deception, you know, deceit, lies, you know. He said, "For we are not ignorant of his device." So now we're in a time where this man and his motives are pretty much is being made known. His intentions are being made known. That he hates you, and he's doing everything in his power to just get rid of you, man. And it's the same mindset Esau had, you know, concerning that birthright with Jacob, man. And now you see it playing out on a bigger picture with two nations of people, you know, going at it for the birthright, man. But we know at the end of the movie that this devil's gonna come to an end. But it says the devices, those devices are pretty much those evil plans, man, that this man have concocted, you know, and been plotting and scheming. You know, this is Job 15, and in verse 35, it says, "They conceive mischief, see, and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit." See, so you can see, this has always been in the making. You know, when you conceiving something, you know, it had to be in the making. When you plotting bringing forth a plan, you know, that means you've been having counsel on it. You've been doing test runs, and you know this has always been in the making. Though I said their belly prepare deceit. So I do see these secret means. You know, these different counsels these devil have. You know, they pretty much their plan is how to keep you in further derision. You know, by the way of what trend should they follow now? How can we get them to be more homos? How can we get them to be more of a nigga? And even now, how can we get these niggas to get the jab? You know? You see now that the so-called white man is your enemy, and you are the target. What about the goose? The goose was the one that was the face of the crown, you know? But now all of a sudden it changed. Somehow, some way, we got what the goose got now. We the carriers of it now, you know. But it just further proved that this man, he's mischievous, man. You know, he is the devil, man. You know, and this has always been the case. And now we're in a time where pretty much his intentions are being made known. Matter of fact, Ecclesiastes 14, Sirach chapter 14, and verse 7. Yep, it says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwittingly. See, so you think it could be perceived that he's doing it out of the kind of his heart. You know, out of all these years, we getting our ass beat. You know, we was plagued with drugs in the neighborhood and guns, and you know, how this devil settled these different leaders by the way of rappers and entertainers and actors. You know, just lead us further astray. But now this nigga want to help us. He care about us so much. He want to give us a jab that pretty much has major side effects to it. It already a side. So you already shooting the dice with that because it got a side effect to it, man. You know, but he out of the kind of his heart, he want to help you now. So it can perceive that this man is for you, but it's always a sinister plan behind everything the so-called white man do. It says, and at the last, he will declare his wickedness. See, so at the last, when pretty much the last step, the last thing got to cross off the list, so to speak, is going to be made known that he was for himself, that he wasn't for you. He just lured you in pretty much to get what he want. You know, and that's how Hunter do. He baits you in, you know, just to ultimately overthrow you. Matter of fact, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, Sirach 12 and 16. It said, "Enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, see, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit." See, so, and then going into those secret counsels again, he imagined how to throw it into a pit, meaning these different counsels this man have. And guess what? One, it just played out by the way that clip we just played. You know, that's let you know that this man is the devil, man. And what else can you say? You know, there's nothing good that come from this man but evil. And like I said, if it even seems to be some form of help or relief this man is sending unto you, is a sinister plan behind it, man. You know? So he's speaking sweet as little. He got these different ads geared towards you to convince you that you sick first of all, and then to take the jab. You know? But ultimately it's to keep you in a pit, to keep you as in further derision. You know? It says he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So yeah, he could be seem like he's for you, you know. He want the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American communities to be the first one to get jabbed up, to be the first ones to so-called be healthy and overcome, so to speak. But it said if he found opportunity, which we very well much in that opportunity, where what, you know, the unemployment rate is at its highest. You know, there's not no constant income in a lot of these homes. You know, everybody late on their bills. You know, so this is the opportunity that this man is gonna pretty much show himself. He's gonna declare his wickedness. This is that time where this man is gonna it's gonna be like, it's gonna be worse than the 50s, where this nigga was able to go into your house and drag you out your home. It's gonna be worse than that. See, you gonna know this is that same nigga, man. You gonna know it's that same nigga. Matter of fact, continue on. It said, the adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. See, because he the one that caused it, and he come. You know, he's gonna be there for you to be asking for a solution, which he's gonna have the solution. So called his form of the solution. You know, that's why they promoting it. You know, you want to get back to normal so bad. You want to go back to it. You want to have another family reunion. You want to have a cookout. You want to go to a graduation. You want a hug. You know, his way of going back to that is what, getting that jab, and ultimately to continue in this society. You know, continue to be in this system is ultimately going to lead to you having to take that chip, man. You know, it says, and though he pretend to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee. See, so he's pretending to help you. Like I said, look at that. This nigga put $500 million worth of commercials on convincing you to get the jab. It's not just for everybody. You know, it's mainly towards you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Natives. When you go into that clip again, you play that clip, it says, be not too targeted, so to speak. Don't just continue to, because they trying to water it down. You know, that it's really geared towards everybody, but we know who the needle pouring towards, man. You know, it says, he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. See, so at the end of the day, you gonna know this is that same nigga, man, from the garden. You know, that this was Cain, that this is Esau, man, your arch enemy. And you're going to see that the things that have been playing out of his heart is actually going to, it's going to be made manifest. Matter of fact, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 36. Psalm 36, and I start at 1. It said, the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of the Most High before his eyes. See? It said, for he flattered himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful. See? So this nigga is proud, man. So that lets you know this is talking about the so-called white man, because that's one of the characteristics that's pretty much dealing with Esau. That's one of the things that sticks out with Esau is his pride, man. You know? So this talking about the so-called white man. It says the words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. See? So everything this man pushed forward by the way of his rhetoric, you know, what he put in the media, you know, It's iniquity and deceit. It said he had left out to be wise and to do good. See why? Because ultimately, his way is the way of death. That's why I said, and he left out to be wise and to do good. So ultimately, he's following the ways of death. You know, it said he devised of mischief upon his bed, and he's he set of himself in a way that is not good. He abhorred not evil, so he devised of mischief upon his bed. These devils supposed to be on top right now. You know, they the ones that's in power. You know, but they're working mischief upon his bed, man. You know, which is really is matter of fact, because he devised a mischief upon his bed. Let's get that in Micah 2. Micah 2 and 1, it said, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. See, so you devise an iniquity and working evil upon your beds, meaning what? Before it even come out, you've been plotting and scheming upon it. See, when Obama signed that, when these homos was able to so-called be married and get them so-called rights, that's been in the making. That wasn't nothing that came on the fly like Obama said, man, we're going to have a change things. No, that's always been in the making, man. You know, these different legislations for the military to come down upon you and roll on you, that's been in the making. You know, these they had certain legislation that been passed in the 90s or early 2000s, even before then, man. So they've been devising and working evil upon their beds. Why they in these different secret means? They ain't counseling on how to make the world better, to stop pollution and all these type of things. No, they only thing they doing is pretty much is imagining mischief, evil, wicked devices, evil plans, man. It says when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. See, so these devils actually got the power to, put these things into action, to put mischief into action, to put evil into action. By the way these laws and legislations being passed, this man when he puts forth on the media, his rhetoric, even all the way down to the trends. See, it wasn't just no Jake just said, you know what, skinny jeans is in now. No, it was an Edomite that came up with that, and so in a music video, this nigga had some skinny jeans on one day, and that was started that trend. But it go back to this devil, man. It was this nigga that put the power to it. And what I said is in the power of his hand to do all this evil, this mischief. Matter of fact, this is this Psalm 38. Psalm 38 in verse 12. It says, they also that seek after my life lay snares for me. See, and that's what you see, because it's gonna get to the point where, it's gonna get to the point you ain't gonna have no choice but to have some type of form that you got to jail. It's gonna get to the point you're gonna have the chip to abide in society. It's gonna be certain things that you can't do without that. Who this man is presenting. Starting with this jab and ultimately that chip, man. That's why that serpent got two fangs. So it's gonna be that jab first, but it's ultimately gonna lead to that chip, man. So it says, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things. See, yeah, like I said, they got these different legislations in place, these different executive orders. They got their FEMA kill list. They speak of mischievous things. It said, and imagine deceits all the day long. See, so meaning what? These things that's not coming out, it's been in the making. But now you see it is now being played out. It's now on the forefront because now is the time for these laws and legislations to be put in action, man. But as you can see, just that, that clip I played really was that those commercials is about to come out. Is this man showing you that Nita is pointing towards you, that you is the target, that he's aiming towards you. That's what the commercial said. That is actually is aimed towards the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives, man. So that's the target, and it just further proves the so-called white man is the devil and is your enemy. And he's a mischievous man. He's all this his evil device is now being put into play. Now you finally seeing the horns come from, you see the horns now. That this is your arch enemy. So yeah, I just hold it edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect that teach the word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. DTA, Abba, Abba.